What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome to today's episode of Call of Duty Ghosts Maps Exposed, the series where I cover all of the jumps, spots, lines of sight, as well as dynamic map elements on every map in Call of Duty Ghosts. In today's episode, we're going to be covering the map Strikezone. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so let's start it off by the C flag. First we're going to cover the capture spots for the C flag. The biggest risk while you're capturing the C flag is almost always up here on the sky bridge. So my favorite way to counter that is to actually lay right on this corner here. They can still see you, but you're kind of hidden here, and you'll probably have the advantage like 9 times out of 10 in that gunfight if they expose themselves right there, because they have no cover at all. And basically all they'll be able to see is your head and shoulders right here, and they'll probably be looking over here first. So you're usually safe if you capture there and you expect enemies to be over there. Another way, if you expect your enemies are coming from this direction, I like to just lay down right here, and then you'll be able to see their feet before they even know where you are. And you'll just be able to see them and then react to that. You could also capture from kind of back over here as well and look underneath the truck, but it's not quite as good because the stairs are there and they kind of block your view. Now one last way that you can actually capture the C flag is right here. You can actually jump up onto this, and look at that. You can capture from right here. That's the best way to capture if you know your enemies are coming from the pro shop side. Now right here, I'm sure all of you guys know this already, that you can actually jump on top of this truck and get up to the sky bridge area here. So you can jump on top of these crates and then jump up like that and then jump across. Pretty simple. Then obviously there's a ladder here, there's a ladder here. But those all kind of take a little bit too much time for me. I prefer to do this. You aim for their headlights and you can just jump and you'll just kind of catch. You don't have to actually mantle on, which saves you a lot of time. So as long as you aim for the headlights, it'll work. If you aim for the bumper, you won't be able to jump up. There's no option to mantle or anything, so you do have to aim right for the headlight. And it kind of failed there. Just an odd angle, but aim for the headlight. And okay, I am failing terribly. There you go, like that. And you're up a lot quicker by doing that. It's way faster than taking the ladder or mantling up a bunch of times to get onto the truck. Now you did see that I can jump up here and use that for cover. You can also use this for cover right here, and this is a great spot to defend against people that are in the pro shop. I wouldn't really recommend like sitting here and just camping here all game, but some people do, so keep an eye out for people that do this. And you also get a bit of a line of sight up towards the sky bridge area there as well. And if you wanted to, you could work your way around and get a line of sight over to that way as well. And you can just use it any way you really want here. You can basically go all over underneath this guy's legs here. Now if you're in the pro shop and you're heading out towards this direction and you think there might be enemies out here but you're not too sure, instead of exposing yourself like this, there's absolutely no cover right here. I like to sometimes just jump up onto the bar over in this area, and then right here you can just hop up and check. And it's just a great check spot to see if anybody's there. You can kind of see if anyone's kind of crouched behind this thing by doing that, and there's no way they're going to be able to hit you. It's just way too fast, so you can pop up, have a look, and if you see a guy, then you can deal with it in whatever way you want to. You might want to just back off and try a different angle of attack because he does have a lot of cover and you won't coming through this door. Now right outside here, I know a lot of people know this by now, but a lot of people also don't know this. You can actually jump on top of these barrels right here and you can shoot through this glass, and obviously you get some really good lines of sight here. You can see a little bit into the bar area right here if someone's camping there, and you can see people as they come out of spawn towards the C flag. And then you can also come up on here and crouch or lay down and use it that way. But I prefer to be kind of down here. It gives you a little bit more cover, and it works pretty effectively. I don't use this one too often, but I probably should be using it more often than I do. Alright, this next spot is a great way to defend the A flag. If you have enemies that are capturing the A flag and you want to get to them, most people will kind of strafe around here and have a look this way. And by doing that, you're completely exposed. So the way I like to do it is jump straight from the ground up onto this, and look at that. You look over top right here. When they're capturing the A flag, there's no way they're going to be looking there and expecting you to be there. That's right up there is where your head's going to be popping up. They're going to be looking over in this direction right here, hoping that you'll be coming out into the open. So by the time they even see your head there, they'll probably be dead. Now coming from this direction, if you anticipate that people are going to be in the pro shop, a lot of people will crouch and they'll try and use this for cover this way. But right there is actually a barrel, and that's a perfect counter to this spot. They can head glitch over top of that barrel right there, and that's basically a fair gunfight, which is what we don't want. So if you actually hop on top of this red crate right here, you can shoot this off, and that gives you a much better line of sight. They have to expose themselves coming through here, and they have absolutely no cover. So you're going to win that gunfight 9 times out of 10. Just keep in mind that you are exposed to anybody that might be up in the sky bridge area right there. And also, you don't want to move too far forward. You don't want to be jumping right up top here, because you kind of defeat the whole purpose of having cover. You basically are only covering your shins here. So make sure you're just on this red area right here, and you can pick people off there. Now, if you're over by the C flag and you have enemies that you think are going to be in this little gap right here, which is a really, really common spot for enemies to sit. I don't know why they would sit there, though. There's not a whole lot of cover, but enemies do sit there all the time. So if you want to get a line of sight on them, this works best with an LMG or a sniper rifle. If you hop up right here, that's that gap right there. You'll be able to pick people off through there, and there's absolutely no way they're going to see you unless maybe they have a thermal LMG or something like that. But even then, you have so much more cover than them, and all you have to do is crouch and you're completely out of their line of sight. So this is a great line of sight that not a lot of people know about. Now, over by this hot dog stand right here, a lot of people will like to camp back here. I don't like camping back here, but if I do find myself back in this area, oftentimes you'll have enemies that are like laying down right here because they want to block off lines of sight from people on the stairs over in that direction. So if you do find yourself behind here, just know that there is this little crack that you can shoot through, and you have the advantage in that gunfight. 9 times out of 10, you're going to win that gunfight. So this is just a nice little crack to look through. Please don't camp here. I hate it when people do camp here, but that's really up to you. I'm giving you guys the tools, and how you use them is up to you. I'm just saying I don't encourage camping at all, and I don't know, I hate it when people are just sitting back here all game. You're easy to take out from any other direction, so camp here if you want. I'll figure out a way to kill you anyways, but yeah, use your own judgment there. Now, when I hold the A flag and the enemy holds the B flag, I'll often sit on these stairs right here. This is one of my favorite spots on the map just because it's such a powerful position. I'm going to win this gunfight 9 times out of 10 against anybody that comes out of the B flag area and tries to challenge me here. And you'll see in my gameplays I often use this spot, and I actually don't push up at all, and that's for a good reason. I don't have any advantages in the gunfights right here. The advantage is all on these stairs right there. So that's why I like to go there, but I do have a counter that not a lot of people know about. Actually, very, very few people know about. And that is this crack right here. You might think you can't actually shoot through this, but watch that pillar in the background. As you can see, you can actually shoot through this. You don't see the entire top of the stairs here. You only see a very small gap, but that's sometimes all you need because they won't even be moving oftentimes, so you can just have a look through here and then pick them off with your sniper rifle. If you don't have a sniper rifle, you might want to put a few shots on him, make him back off, and then you can rush him or handle the situation whatever way that you feel will work. And as you can see from his perspective, he's really going to have a hard time seeing you through this crack right here. Now, if I do push up right here and the enemies hold the B flag, something I like to do is hop on top of this keg, and you can see people that are right in here, and you can see the tops of their heads as they spawn back there. And you can pick people off there. I get kills on this. I get kills from this spot just about every game that I play where the enemy ends up holding the B flag and I push up like this. It's an extremely effective spot, and they never expect you to be there. It's really hard for them to see you anyways. All that's going to be there is just the tip of your head right there, and they're going to be looking at people that might be over here or somewhere else like that. So it's really awesome for getting kills. Now, just outside the B flag, there's a great check spot that I like to use to see if anybody is sitting right here, because oftentimes they will sit right there, and if you come around this corner, they're just aiming into this gap, and they'll pick you off before you even realize what's going on. So from right here, you can actually just hop up, have a look, see if anybody's there, and if there is somebody there, then you can come around knowing that there's someone there, and if there isn't, then you can come around and feel safe actually crossing that gap right there. Now, one thing over by the A flag, there is this little crack to shoot through, so a really, really popular spot for people to be is right here behind that hot dog stand. And right here is a nice crack that you can look through, and look at that. Perfect line of sight on them. A lot of people know about this spot, and a lot of people focus way too much on sitting at this spot all game. It's not effective if you sit here all game because your entire side is exposed, and most of the time they're not paying attention to their back either, so you might pick off a couple kills if you sit here all game, but for the most part, people are going to flank you and likely kill you. So I like to use it just as I'm pushing up. Maybe I'll just have a look, see if someone's there. If there is, then maybe I'll try and kill them. If not, then I just know I can safely push up a little bit. Alright, so coming all the way back around towards the C flag, if I'm losing the C flag, sometimes, yes, I'll just come around here and try and challenge people, but if I want to play it safe, I can actually come right here, lay down, and pick anybody off that's on the capture area on the A flag. most people don't lay down here like I did earlier in the video and actually look through here. Most of them are going to be crouching, looking this way, looking up here, maybe standing. So if you lay down like that, you're almost always going to be safe, and you can shoot them in the legs, or if they're crouching, you can see actually a good portion of their body as well. So that's an amazing way to defend the C flag if you're coming from this direction. Alright, so one last thing before we move on to the KEM strike zone. If you're sitting in this stair area right here, maybe you hold the A flag, enemy holds the C flag, and you feel like you're safe from this sky bridge right here, but your enemies are coming from this direction. Sometimes it's beneficial to jump up right here, and you can see behind that little hot dog stand where I said that a lot of people love to sit, and you can see people as they come around that corner. You might not be able to kill them, but you might be able to put a few shots on them and then push up and finish the kill. Alright guys, so moving on to Strike Zone after a KEM strike, I actually had initially planned to do an entire episode of Maps Exposed for this post-KEM strike Strike Zone, but to be completely honest, I've been running all over the place looking for spots, and this map is like overly simple. There are no really special spots that I could find that are useful. Everything is super simplified. You can't jump on a lot of things that you think you should be able to. So unfortunately, all I found were a couple different capture spots that only work at the post KEM strike zone. And the first one is right here on the B flag. This one's actually really effective for capturing the B flag. Completely cuts you off from people over here, and they'll have to come right up to you to be able to get to you. And by the time they do that, you should have been able to destroy them, or at least capture the flag. Now over by the C flag, we've also opened up a couple of different capture spots that this one is kind of useful, the other one not so much, but right here is actually a pretty good capture spot to capture C from, except you are kind of exposed to people if they come from this direction. So basically, if you know they're going to be coming through this doorway, that is a really nice capture spot right there. And another thing that I wanted to point out is you can actually capture from on top of this truck here, and that just could be a place that they won't really expect, but honestly, it's not as useful because you are going to stand out like a sore thumb up there. So it's nice to know that you can do it, but it's not the most useful. Okay, I kind of lied. There is one little bit of a line of sight that you can get towards the A flag, and that is right up here. You can kind of see a pretty good area of the capture area on the A flag, so if the enemy team's at A, you can just slowly work your way around here. You don't necessarily have to have a sniper rifle, like you can have whatever. It doesn't work so well if you're back here because you're a little bit lower and the angle's a little bit different, so if you're up here, it works a little bit better. And if you want to get even better at that, you can jump up here and you get a little bit of a better line of sight through here, and you can see people that are maybe laying down over here, and they won't really be looking there. They're typically going to be looking over here or something like that. They're going to be looking over in this direction, and you're just going to kind of pop up here and be able to take them out. So other than that, guys, that's pretty much all I have for the post-KEM strike zone. I know it's a little bit disappointing. I was really hoping there'd be a bunch of spots that nobody's covered on YouTube before, because it doesn't seem like anybody ever bothers covering the post-KEM strike zone, and now I kind of see why. There really aren't very many great spots on this version of the map. So that's all I have for today's episode of Call of Duty Ghosts Maps Exposed. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.